Hello, I'm Bood and welcome to a brand new video. As always, thanks for joining me. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and get involved in the comments. Subscribe if you're new and hit that bell. And you'll never miss anything to do like this. A cheeky sort of experiment, tall versus small. Now, it could be a little bit silly. It's not the most scientific football manager experiment ever made. But I just wanted to have a little bit of fun with this because there's been a little bit of a debate now and again in some comments, especially when I sign small players. My good friend Greeno, who will have a database I'll be reviewing on the channel soon, loves tall goalkeepers, tall centre halves, and when I have short ones, he thinks they're rubbish. So I thought, let's go balls deep into this. Let's have a bit of fun. Let's take it to the extreme and see who's better. A team full of giants and a team full of little shorties. We're going to find out in this video, so let's share it together. Thanks for watching, let's get into it. And we'll start right here with Tall Football Club, Tall FC. So, you'll notice they play at the Higher Bank Stadium, 50,000 capacity, and their manager is Alex Tall. So what I've done, right, is I put together a 22-man squad of very good players, real players of various ages, so I have a nice spread of age. And I've duplicated them and then changed all the names. I found a very top manager and duplicated him and changed his name, so they've got the same size stadium, same season ticket holders and the exact same manager. I then put both clubs under a 5-year transfer ban because this is just going to be a 5-year experiment, just to have a bit of fun and have a look at who comes out on top. Then with the squad, I changed all the names. I'm doing regular names, some of my friends' names, some of my kids' names, some of my friends' kids' names, but they're all called Tall. And you'll notice on Tall FC that everyone is the maximum height they can be, which is 6'11". Now I know height has its advantages in certain positions, but like I said, we're going balls deep. This team is a team of giants. Everyone is 6'11", and everybody has a future transfer in place for around 10 years' time. So by doing this and the transfer ban, it basically locks these players into the team. None of them will leave. No new players will come in. So it's just this bunch of players versus the other bunch of players from the small football club, Small FC, who play at Little Horton. Again, you can see all the stadium stuff is the same. They have Alex Small as the manager, who is exactly the same, like I said, as Alex Tall. They of course are fierce rivals. They've got a derby to hopefully have a bit of drama when they do face each other, and they're both based in Manchester. I'm from Manchester. But obviously the difference with Small FC is they're the shortest they can be. They're all 2 foot smaller. Every single player is 4'11", but they're the same names, the same ability. I'm guessing. I've not actually looked, we'll check it out. But just shorter. Now I've made them all English, and because they're originally real players, that'll be quite interesting for you to try and work out who I've used. I made them all English and cleared all their cap history. So we'll see over the next few years, and all the different ages, but who'll get the most caps, the shorter version or the taller version in their position. So let's have a quick comparison. This is David Small, the star striker of Small FC, and his counterpart is of course David Tall, who's exactly the same, just not as small. Let's have a look at the goalkeeper. This is Lee Tall, all 6'11" of him. What does his mate look like? Lee Small, exactly the same, just a midget. So, I mean, will it make any difference? Will a team of absolute giants dominate the team of absolute little tiny people? So of course I've put them straight into the Premier League. Let's have some fun. And then I just moved 2 teams down and had to work my way down the system so it works. So obviously Tall FC and Small FC are now in the Premier League, and the 2 favourites. Obviously I just put a team together. I went through the editor, arranged players in the editor by ability. I thought I'd get a good spread of age, and that's it. Just duplicate them and then duplicate them again. It's really easy, really. Duplicate a player. If you're in the editor and maybe you're trying to make your own player, sometimes it don't really work out the way you want it to be. So my advice is always, if there's a guy you really like in real life, let's say Messi for instance, you want to be Messi and put yourself in the game, duplicate Messi. Go to Messi, press duplicate, and just change his name and his age or whatever and where he's from. And I always find that better. Anyway, so Tall FC are apparently favourites to win the league. Better odds than Small FC. So like I said, we're just going to do 5 years. It's just, it was really easy to make. We're just going to jump forward and we're going to look at a few things, see who wins the most, who's the most successful, who, I don't know, gets the most caps. I'll try and work it out the best I can. As always though, thanks for watching, you absolute legend. So here we are now, it's the 1st of July 2028. We've gone on holiday for 5 years. I left it running last night. I genuinely have no idea what the outcome is. I've not looked. This is the first time I've opened this save file. Been at work this morning and I'm very excited really. I don't know why. I really can't wait to see who comes out on top, or will they be quite equal? I have no idea, but here we are. 5 years into the future with Tall Football Club, Tall FC, the Lankies. I've been called Lanky my entire life because most of my mates are short asses and I'm 6'3". But they've still got Alex Tall as the manager. But have they won any trophies? Well, they've not done too bad. Disappointing in Europe for the big boys. But they've won 2 Premier Leagues, 2 Carabaos, 2 Community Shields, and a Papa John's. I mean, this is giving it away that small FC don't win a Papa John's, but they won one. They've also got to the final recently and lost it. But yeah, the under 21s did that. So that's not too bad, is it? 2 titles, 2 League Cups, 2 Community Shields. What about Small FC? Well, here they are, and they still have Alex Small as the manager. The little uns, that's what we call the kids, really. Like me and the wife, when we're talking about the boys, you got the little un? Where's the little un gone? It's a term we use around here, if you've never heard of it, up north in Manchester anyway. But everything still looks the same. But how have they done with their trophy cabinet? No, I'm not on the side of the smalls. It's just I tend to have small players and get grief for it. But that has surprised me. Every single player in this team is 4'11", right? Tiny ass goalkeeper, back line of absolute little people. Do you know what I mean? It's like Lord of the Rings back there with the hobbits, right? 3 Champions Leagues, 3 Premier Leagues, 2 FA Cups, 3 Super Cups, and 2 Community Shields. That's not bad, that is it? Let's work our way back and, well, fair play. Tall FC beat Small FC in the Community Shield. So the one time they've met there, Tall FC come out on top. And they've got 2 each. Onto the Carabao, and of course we know Tall FC have got 2. Small FC have been to 2 finals and lost them both. So no head-to-heads. Onto the FA Cup, and Tall FC have never got to a final. Small FC have won 2 and lost 1 to Man City. But onto the Premier League. Well, Tall FC won the first, then it was Small, then it was Tall, then Small, back to back. But Small FC beat Tall FC in 2025, and they've just done it again. That's brilliant. I find that mental because they're so tiny. They're so small. You think when they were going head to head with Tall FC and they've got the big guy up front, just ping the ball to him. 2 foot smaller. Now onto the Super Cup, and Tall FC have won no European trophies, so they wouldn't have got to the UEFA Super Cup, but Small FC have, and they've won 3 on the bounce. And that is absolutely brilliant. That's funny, that, isn't it? I mean, they've done it 3 times in a run. Small FC dominated the Champions League, and the last one they won, they beat Tall FC in the final. So it really is an overall challenge, but I also mainly want it to be a head-to-head in the Premier League, basically because this is where your bread gets buttered with a little bit of jam. It's the business side of it. It's where you really see what a team is all about. And Tall FC, as we know, won that first Premier League title, and Small FC were 3rd, but when it comes to defensively, Tall FC only, had a worse defence than Small FC. And the goals for there wasn't much difference in that either. The next season, Small FC became champions, only losing 2 games. Tall FC in 2nd, and again, goals against, goals for. There's not a lot of difference in that. On to the next season, Tall FC won the title back. Small FC finished 4th. Defensively, well, a little bit worse. Obviously, quite some way behind in the points, but they don't give up, Small FC. They might be tiny at the back. They might have a tiny little goalkeeper, and you can float the ball over their heads, but they will come after you and bite your ankles off. On to the 4th season, which Small FC got that title back, scoring 97. Tall FC finished 3rd, so only 73. The Little Uns and a much better defence and dominated. Look at the point difference there. And then on to the final season, which Small FC have just won. Again, with a better defensive record and a better goal scoring record, and they won the league by 9 points. And of course, we have to look at their complete head-to-heads. Every time they had a derby, and there has been a lot of them, 15 times they've gone toe-to-toe Small versus tall, and I find this super interesting, really, because small have won 9, they've drawn 3, and of course tall FC have lost 9. Goals for 27-16. Just flip it for goals against. I mean, wow, 30 points to 12 in head-to-heads. That is insane. I mean, they've met each other in Champions Leagues, semi-finals, the Champions League final. I mean, absolutely bonkers. I think that small FC, the tiny ones, have got such a great head-to-head against tall FC. So here we are with Tall Football Club's squad. Now, one of the main things I wanted to see as well was, with them all being English and having a clean slate with caps, who would come out on top in each position for height. Small guy, the tall guy, which club would gain the most overall caps and the most overall goals. Now, I'd love to go through every single player side by side, but that would take forever. So I'm going to do a select few in a minute, but I've added these up, caps and goals, and we've got 413 total caps for England over the last 5 years for Tall FC and 74 goals. Now onto Small FC squad. And again, I've added up all the caps and goals, and there was a bit of a difference here. Now, of course, I know some of these guys might be playing side by side up front. I know all that stuff. It is just a bit of fun. But I have totaled up their overall caps for England over the last 5 years, and it's lower. It's 342. Maybe that helped them win 3 Champions Leagues. I don't know. Maybe more trophies. But they have scored more team goals for England, whereas Team Tall scored 74 goals. Small FC have scored 104 goals. So let's look at a few players in key positions, the players that have played the most football, starting with Tall FC and their number 1 goalkeeper, Lee Tall, who's now 36, got 37 caps. Over to his rival, Lee Small, and to be fair, maybe, you know, the computer and you will always pick the tall goalkeeper because he only has 12 caps. Onto a central defender, because obviously you always want a big centre back, and this is Chris Tall, all 6'11" of him. He had 14 caps for England. And Chris Small, again, the small guy's losing out when it comes to his internationals. He's only got 8 caps. Let's go into midfield, starting with a defensive midfielder, Mo Tall, because he had the most caps for Tall FC. So how's Mo Small compared against him? Well, we do know overall Tall FC won more international caps, and so far they're winning this in their little head-to-heads I'm picking, because Mo Small got 38 caps and no goals, whereas Mo Tall scored 2 for England. Let's check out forward play now, starting with Jamie Tall, who won 51 caps, scoring 18 goals for England. But how did his little mate do? Well, he's won less caps slightly, but scored way more goals, 27 compared to the tall guy's 18, and that's probably a position where you would want a smaller player. I don't know if you want a 4'11" player. Is there any 4'11" players on Football Manager? I don't think I've ever seen one, unless it's a regen. I don't know. Anyway, let's look at one more. The main striker, David Tall, who got 34 caps and 30 goals for England. And I also want to look at what he's done for the club there. 156 appearances, 91 goals. And here is his little mate, Dave Small, who again played for England a little bit less, 31 caps to his 34, but scored 7 more goals, got in 37. And for club, he played a little bit less, 145 games to his 156, but scored 93 goals in less games compared to his 91. I know you're not taking a lot from this. It is a bit of fun. But I don't know what I am. I mean, I'm quite surprised the Small FC was so dominant club-wise. Is that because he played, I don't know, 70 odd caps less? Maybe. Maybe we need to look at England, see who their best team is, and the Premier League's best team. And this is the overall best 11. So in that front line, we've got 3 smalls and a tall. Declan Rice has made it in. And in the back line, we've got a tall, 2 talls, a small, and a tall in goal. But Reece James has obviously snuck in there as well. That's probably right, isn't it? Quite a few talls at the back. Are the smalls up front, really. And onto the Premier League overall best 11. 2 smalls up top, dominated by smalls. Is that because they won more titles? We've got 3 smalls at the back and Alisson in goal. That's interesting, I think. But I like that. Player of the year, 4 smalls, 1 tall. Trevor Tall, get in there, mate, for the big boys. And then Trevor Small won it the next year. So when it comes to the Premier League, the smalls have definitely dominated those awards. But on the Ballon d'Or list, it's the tall boys. In fact, that year, they claimed all 3. Jamie Tall's the only one out of all of them to win one. So there we have it really, just a bit of fun, really easy for me to make. Hopefully you enjoyed it, as silly as it is, but there you go. When it comes to trophies, Tall FC managed 7, and one of them was a Papa John's, and Small FC got 13. A couple of Champions Leagues chucked in there. Obviously you can look at the awards, you can look at England as well and see, you know, who won more caps. Does that mean they're better, the tall guys or the small guys? Personally, when you look, after looking at the trophies won and the awards, I'd say the small team. I'd say the team of little people came out on top of that. But I'd love to know what you think. I'd love to know. I know it wasn't super scientific. I just wanted to have the two extremes of each other go head to head in the most level playing field possible, apart from their height. And there we go. Tall FC, the favourites, by the way, for the new league, even though Small FC dominate it. So yeah, I would genuinely love to know what you think. Does height matter? Do you think height matters in Football Manager? Because I've come across it not mattering sometimes when they've got the ability. Do you know what I mean? Don't be heightist. You know what I mean? It's a new world. So there we go. Hopefully you enjoyed it enough to hit that thumbs up and comment. I really want to know what you think about height in Football Manager. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. Come join the family and hit that bell, and you'll never miss anything I do. Hopefully you've watched a few of my videos recently. I've done a couple. European Super League. I've spanned the English Football League. I've got a database coming out soon, built by Greeno, where he's rebuilt Scottish football, and I've done it in the past, but I just tend to make it basic with a bit of money. He's added some really cool parts to this. I think it's the best one I've ever seen. That's why I'm going to put it on my channel and review it for him and share it for him when it's done, because he's got a lot of imagination, so he's great at databases. It's how we met about 6 years ago. So hopefully you'll check that video out. Hopefully catching up with Kurz and Ashton, and I have got some big news. If you're a fan of the Road to Anywhere, my long running all the way back from 2019 FM19 series, where I travel around the world with my best friend, my chief comb placement officer, the soap opera that is the Road to Anywhere, will be returning soon. I'm not going to say when, because I'm not 100% sure myself, but we're in the process of bringing the Road to Anywhere back. So if you enjoy that, man, check it out. I'm going to do a little montage video at the start of that series, so if you've followed the story, you'll know. Maybe you can catch up on it. If you don't know the story, you can watch that and get the gist of where we're at now, because it's going to be as crazy as ever. But anyway, thank you for watching this video, you beautiful person. You take care, be happy, be safe. I'm Bood. Bye bye.